Welcome to Gutter Trash, episode 149, Any Empire by Nate Powell. My name is Eric.
I'm Jason.
Hello, Jason.
Hello, Eric. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.
Welcome to my show.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
No problem. This isn't really my show.
Can I sleep here tonight?
It's yours.
Okay.
This whole place, that drawer full of underwear, those Pez dispensers, it's all yours, buddy.
Sweet.
Do you have any Pez dispensers?
I might.
Yeah?
I don't,
Every nerd should.
I could swear that I've bought at least one in the past year and a half.
Right?
So,
I respect that.
yeah. If I don't have one, I have had one recently.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's cool. That's very cool.
So hey, before we get started, I want to say something about last week's episode.
Oh, yeah.
We slagged on Highlander a little bit.
The Highlander movie.
We did not enjoy that movie.
We did not.
And we, in particular, did not enjoy the acting abilities of one Christopher Lambert.
Yeah. Yeah. That goes without saying.
Yeah. I did a little reading up on Christopher Lambert, after the show.
Uh-huh.
And I kind of grew some respect for the guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Did he really cut those people's heads off?
He did.
Yeah. Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
But no, I wound up reading, I guess in an interview, they were talking to him about being sort of the level of celebrity and actor that he is.
Right.
And, he basically came out and said that he knows he's not good. That Highlander is pretty much the peak of his abilities.
Really?
And that's his thing. And as much as he wishes he could be like a Robert De Niro, he knows that he can't. And all he can really do is do a Highlander and do the best with that he can do.
Huh.
And that really endeared him to me.
Yeah? I can see that.
And then I discovered that the man is practically blind unless he's wearing glasses.
Really?
And that is why he has such dead eyes and a faraway stare. Because he can't see shit when he's in movies.
No contacts? Can't
Nope.
wear the contacts?
And I guess some of the medieval scenes in Highlander, when battle scenes or whatever, they had to reshoot continuously because he kept forgetting to take off his glasses when he was riding up on horseback.
Well, there was glasses back then, right? I mean,
I don't know.
there had to have been glasses. People had... Oh, come on. I've seen
In
1500s?
in the 1500s?
Did they make glasses back
I
then?
don't know.
There wasn't an iMart?
Let me call my friend Amanda. She works there.
Yeah, I know they had... Well, for sure they had Walmarts, and there's usually, an iMart in a Walmart.
Right. I don't think it's an iMart. I think it's Walmart's special place.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They have their own thing.
Well, that's cool, though.
Yeah.
I mean, at least he's, not I'm a badass, I'm amazing.
No,
He's
he's
this is what I do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like us. We know we're not good.
Right.
We are the nearsighted French of podcasting.
Very well put. Very well put.
Well, then, okay. Kudos to you, Mr. Lambert.
Yeah.
Lambert, whatever.
I could say Lambert. He's
Lambert.
French.
Yeah.
That said, that was still a terrible movie.
Awful film.
And he's still not a good actor.
No, he's not.
But I feel a little bit bad about slagging on him.
Oh. Well, I feel like we mostly just slagged on the actual film.
Yeah.
Because we did not like the film. We didn't have nothing against him.
No, yeah. Keep doing what you're doing, Christopher Lambert.
Yeah. You're doing just fine.
Yes, you are.
You're doing better than we are.
Yep. The man was married to Diane Lane for a while.
Diane Lane. I feel like I know who that would be.
She is currently married to Josh Brolin. She is also currently cast as Ma Kent in the new Superman movie.
Huh. Diane Lane.
She was in Judge Dredd
Okay.
as the female judge. Side Judge Anderson?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't remember.
Oh, she's super hot. That's all I know.
Okay.
Milfy.
Milfy. She's crazy with the milfiness.
Oh, yeah. And as I said, when she got announced as cast as Ma Kent, I said, because when I think Ma Kent, I think that's somebody I want to fuck.
Ooh. Grody.
In the Empire, Nick Powell.
Yeah, Nate Powell's comics. That's a good segue from thinking about, Milfy
Ma Kent.
Milfy Ma Kent
Yeah.
to In the Empire. Nate Powell's second graphic novel from Top Shelf
Yep.
in as many years, I believe.
Yeah.
Was it 2 years ago? 1 year ago?
2009, so 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. It was episode 10 is the episode that we reviewed that first graphic
Really?
novel.
Was it that long ago?
Yep.
Wow. Man. Time flies when you're wasting your life.
Yep.
So,
Am I dumb?
I don't think you're dumb.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think I might be dumb.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because, I don't know what I read.
You read In the Empire by Nate Powell.
I know what I read. I don't know what the contents of that were.
Well, it's something that you remember the title and the author.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, because I'm thinking, because for some reason we've gotten into this terrible habit of recording a comic episode on Mondays, which is awful.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You don't like that?
Not particularly, but I know you want to spend time with your lady, and I guess I have to let you do that. But it makes it a bitch to try to get these episodes out.
Oh, yeah.
And so usually I try beforehand to do my whole, plot description before the episode.
I gotcha.
Some episodes I don't, because we describe it fairly well within the show. But, sometimes I think that they need them.
Yeah.
And I could not for the life of me string together any idea of what the plot of this book was.
You should have just, Googled it.
Well, there's the description on the back.
Oh, yeah. Don't do that.
Top Shelf's website has a similar description. Amazon has a description.
But none of those apply, you think?
No.
Yeah. What does it say on the back here? Blah, 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 blah. A vivid examination of war and violence and their trickle-down effects on Middle America. I can see how that applies, but
Sure.
but it doesn't begin to it'd be like
That's
describing
not what the book is about.
no. It'd be like describing Return of the Jedi as the Sarlacc pit gets hungry. yeah, that's in there. But there's some other stuff too. This was a very strange book.
Yeah.
I think it's his statement on war and
Right.
and how especially Midwest middle class Americans view it and
Right.
accept it and maybe even embrace it.
Right.
I remember when I was a kid, G.I. Joe was definitely my favorite toy.
Right. And, I get all of those points that he's making, and he kind of hammers it home quite a bit.
Yeah.
But it's like in short bursts. It's like, using Return of the Jedi. It's like if, the plot outline of the movie said the Sarlacc pit gets hungry. And then, like, once every 30 minutes or so, we just see just one shot of the Sarlacc pack gruesomely devouring something.
Right, yeah.
But then, that only lasts for like a minute. But then the rest of the movie is whatever else it is.
Right. Like the biker speeders and
Right.
the cute little Ewoks.
Ewoks, yeah. Slave Leia,
Don't get me started.
Alright, I won't.
Yeah, but it's I mean, like a large chunk of this is just like it feels like a slice of life of growing up with friends and like siblings, and like it's a really good. I think those are my favorite parts of the book, actually.
Right.
Like the slice of life, adolescent kind of stuff.
I don't know. I think part of my problem with this is that it feels so disconnected. Like it's a collection of scenes and snippets from like 3 different characters' lives that are all very loosely tied together.
Yeah. Over some turtles.
Not even that.
Yeah.
Not even that. And that's in the description on the back too.
They mentioned the turtles, really?
Yeah. Small town kids Lee, Sarah, and Purdy find themselves bound together by geography, boredom, and a rash of mysterious turtle mutilations, forcing them to confront the reality of their suburban power fantasies. After losing touch with each other, their lives collide again as adults in a struggle for the future amidst painful questions of privilege, betrayal, and courage. None of that's in this book.
Well, I mean, some of it's in this book.
There's a turtle mutilation.
Yeah.
That is not a mystery.
Right.
That's pretty much figured out from the get-go.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. Okay. I will say, man, it's like I don't want to say anything bad about this book because there's so much I like about this book and about the guy that made it. But I really didn't like the ending of this book at all.
I didn't like the ending either.
Like, I thought...
It also made no sense.
It didn't. It really didn't. I wanted to make it make sense, and I was hoping that you would say something that made me go, oh, damn. That's what it was all about.
Nope. Can't help you.
Because leading up to it, I mean, I was with it. I thought the characters were interesting. I thought the artwork was phenomenal.
All right, let me go ahead and put out right now, for whatever negative vibes I might be throwing out there, the artwork in this is fucking beautiful. He is the master of brushstrokes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And just like, and as far as like using black and white art to its fullest effect, I honestly think he's on par with like Bernie Wrightson and Frank Miller and any of those guys.
He is great. At least as far as his artwork goes, he is fantastic.
Yeah.
And there's not a bad word I can say about that. Well, there is one bad word I can say about that. Towards the ending of, or I guess, middle to end, when the characters are adults. Particularly, a couple of the characters go off to war.
Yeah.
They're all wearing uniforms, and they're all heavily shadowed, and I could not tell who was who anymore. Like, there's a certain point where the characters all sort of look alike.
Right. Didn't they have the name tags on their uniforms? Yeah. I can't remember.
And also, there's a couple points where the main character, or the main male character and the main female character, occasionally also look alike.
Really?
Well, they're both blonde. They both have bangs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, skinny.
Skinny, yeah. Then, like, just close-up shots of, like, their faces or whatever.
Okay.
There's not a lot of variety there, so
I gotcha.
I got confused a couple of times about that.
Like one of them needs freckles or glasses or something. I gotcha.
But for the most part, the art is fantastic.
I agree. He is... I think he's one of the best artists in comics.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I get that it's all about, like it takes place in different segments of their life too, different sections of their life, because, it has them as kids playing with, like dead grenades and talking about throwing stars. And I totally remember all that. When I was a kid, I had neighbors and friends, and they're all like, they all had throwing stars, and I didn't have a throwing star.
Right.
A shuriken, but we didn't call them that. We called them Chinese stars.
Right. I call them throwing stars. Or ninja stars.
We were rednecks, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, ninja stars. We call them ninja stars. But yeah, all my friends had one because they all went to Trader's World. I'd never been to Trader's World.
Neither have I. And I never had one either.
And one of them,
I'm with you.
You're with me. We're shurikenless.
Yeah.
And one of them even had a dead grenade, which these kids buy. So I mean, like all that I get, I can relate to. Like for some reason we are like I remember watching Platoon when I was really young, just like this kid did in the book, and like all these things do affect you, and like you see the world differently based on all the violence and war, and like how accepted war is by adults when you're a kid.
Right.
But
I think also in the mid '80s, for some reason that was like a big part of our lives. And G.I. Joe is figured heavily into this book.
Right.
And that was a huge part of our childhoods.
Oh, yeah.
Like all my friends, it wasn't Platoon, it was, Rambo movies.
Yeah.
Like there seemed to be a ton of war movies. And even if they weren't just straight out war movies, there'd be like, those shitty direct-to-TV or VHS action movies, about
Phantom Raiders and all those
crazy commandos out in the jungle, and just
like our friends and I, we would all get together in our clubhouse, and we would all play Iran-Contra, where we would take turns pretending to be Ollie North, and the other kids would be the district attorney and the judge. And no. But yeah, no, you're right. It was like a very popular theme amongst children's toys and like children's cartoons
for people our age, anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
In the mid '80s. Yeah.
In fact, I remember one of my friends that did have a ninja star. It was camouflage.
My friend John's, his was camouflage too.
So yeah, camo and war and all that stuff was a huge part of our childhoods, and that factors into this book a lot. And of course, we all grew up to be, of age right when we decided to go into 4 different wars, however many we're in right now.
Yeah, at least 7. Yeah.
Right. Felt like you were leading to something, and I totally derailed you.
Oh, no, I was just saying, like, as much as I can relate to that, it seems like, he was kind of making statements about, just like how ingrained in our society, like war for fun is, and like how fantasy and reality keep getting mixed up, because like these kids that watch, G.I. Joe cartoons and Rambo cartoons, and then they also see Platoon, and it's all like kind of meshed together, and like some of it's a little more real or based on reality than others. And one of these kids, Purdy, ends up joining the army or Marines, I forget which, but and even when he does, it's some sort of like you remember the bats from G.I. Joe that had the interchangeable hands, he reminds me of that. Like,
well, yeah, that's where the story just sort of. I mean, I wasn't getting it up to that point anyway.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden it just totally goes into left field.
It gets really bizarre, yeah. It's like, it just all of a sudden, you're not sure what's real and what isn't, because, supposedly he's in the army and everything, and then all of a sudden, like, he's got an injury, and then, like, they give him, like, a claw hand, and then he's, like, throwing tanks around, and you're like, I don't know, maybe that's what Nate was trying to go for, like, talk about, like when you played with toys when you were little, you did all that kind of stuff, and this does kind of play out like, some sort of action figure toy fantasy that you would have.
Yeah, alright, yeah, I can, now that you say that, I can almost see like the ending of the book sort of playing out in that manner.
Right.
Like with boys just playing tanks and G.I. Joe and all
Yeah.
that, and then the girl interrupts it all with the phone's ringing.
Yeah. Like, don't touch my dog. And,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's very strange. Like, personally, I would have liked it better, and this might be, because I like really simple, boring things.
Right.
I love the beginning of it and the, like, up to the middle of it, and I would have loved it if it would have just been, like, a lot more subtle and, like, none of that,
Preachy.
yeah, like, it got really preachy with, like, there was an awesome 2-page spread of, like, different, war uniforms,
Right.
military uniforms throughout the years, and everyone walking in a row, and like there was no words or background on the page, and it was an awesome page, and it was clearly saying all these wars are the same, it's never ending, and it's all pointless. Like I get that he's saying that, but I think I would have liked it more if it would have just been more of a slice of life thing about just these kids and how they grew up, and
Right.
nothing really crazy happened.
I tend to agree. The whole, like, it gets, like, at the end, gets into, like, this weird sci-fi place.
Yeah.
And then there's, like, time travel,
Yeah.
maybe.
Oh, yeah, and like Purdy and his friends they, like, as kids, they venture to the spot that they've been trying to find, and they
Right.
get there, and, like, themselves, as adults,
Yeah.
having gone AWOL, are there, and like, the adult, like, recognizes himself as a kid, and then he just kind of ignores it and hops in the pond, and
Right.
I didn't get that part, and I don't think we're dumb. We joke about it all the time, but I think this is one of those things that it kind of delved into territory that was maybe, I don't want to say pretentious, but it was just a little too far in left field to
Right.
to be grounded as a linear story.
Right. That said, though, there are a lot of parts of this book that I did like.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, the small little segments. Like you said, like I enjoyed the sort of slice of life aspects of the book. Seeing these characters and, I mostly enjoyed more seeing them as adults than I did as kids.
Yeah.
Particularly when Lee, he's trying to find a job, and that's when he meets Sarah. But like, he also has that terrible date that he goes on.
All right.
Just the little things like that I really enjoyed.
I love the scene where she's interviewing him.
Yeah.
And there's this, like, 2-page spread, and it's like all these. You don't see there's no narration, no thought balloons, nothing, but there's just all these little tiny panels of things that Lee sees, like
Right.
her, like a picture of her dog on her desk and her ashtray, and like he looks at her eyes really closely, and like it's awesome. It's like great storytelling as far as
Right.
like what Lee is paying attention to and what he's learning about Sarah, and
Right.
like that is amazing. I thought that was great.
Even beforehand, and this is maybe where we're going to get too masculine here.
That's
But,
what we do, though. We're big old sweaty dudes.
Yeah. Like the scene right when he's being led into the back office, and like there's just a panel of Sarah's ass.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, that's a thing I would do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's like, she's just talking, and there's just like a quick panel where he sees her ass, and there's no like, it doesn't like cut to his eyes like bulging, or like it's just a quick ass shot, and like that's what he took a glance, and he hasn't seen her, like they grew up together,
Right.
and he probably always had a crush on her. And now like they're back in contact, and he's like checking her out, and
Right.
it's so it's just well done. Like Nate is great with like characterization and storytelling, with just the sort of subtle elements like that.
I agree.
Like another, I'm sorry.
No,
What?
go ahead.
I was gonna say one of my favorite artistic things in the book is the scene where Sarah gets home from work and she's like stressed out, and there's all these answering machine messages, and her house is like full of shit, it's just full of detail and like all the crap that's in her house. And then she lights a cigarette, and like everything just like turns like very minimal and calm.
Right.
I thought that was amazing. Like, I'm not even a smoker. I've been a smoker years and years and years ago.
Right.
But I can totally see, like that was like the perfect depiction of that sort of like calming effect, like where everything just sort of fades into the background and disappears, and you're like, when you're smoking a cigarette.
Right.
Like, I thought that was, I've never seen that done exactly like that.
It was pretty amazing. I mean, I think, because the astute listener will go back to episode 10.
Oh, of course. Why wouldn't they?
And listen to the review of Salami Hole, which I did not enjoy.
Yeah.
And I think I can safely say, between reading both of these books, that and it's weird because that's not usually a kind of thing I'm into, but I really think I enjoy him when he is just being subtle and just doing sort of character studies, and when he starts veering off into the bizarre is where he loses me.
Right. I can see that.
Yeah, and it's like, I want to like Nick Powell. I want to like his books a lot because, I met him a couple times at Space or whatever, and he's a super nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
And, and I think he's a fantastic artist. But there is just something between me and him that we're just not meeting in the middle.
Do you think it's just his writing, maybe?
It could be.
I mean, I think he's a good writer. I really think he's solid as far as, like, he knows how to make characters and he knows how to breathe life into them.
Right.
But I think
he hasn't grasped telling a story yet.
I think his storytelling is his weakest spot.
Yeah.
But I mean, compared to his artwork, like, he's still a phenomenal, like, force in comics. But I do think his art is,
stronger
1,000 times better than his writing. Yeah.
I think it just comes down to plot. I think he clearly has an idea of what he wants to do. I just think that somewhere along the line he loses it in the execution.
Right.
Like he can totally nail those small moments, and he can totally experiment with storytelling, like pacing and everything like that, or just visuals, and get across his point. But I think it's when it's trying to tie it all together and make a coherent plot. Point A to point B to point C. Ow. Fuck it.
That was the ghost of Nate Powell biting your finger.
But yeah, I think him getting from the beginning to end, I think he loses it somewhere. Maybe
he doesn't even need a writer. Maybe he's fine as the writer. He just needs an editor. Yeah. Or like somebody to be like, this isn't, I guess that's what an editor is. Like, this isn't working. Maybe tighten that part up, explain that better or something. But yeah, I think he's amazing, but I agree, like, the story kind of lost me, and, like, it was a little confusing, and, like, I was a little disappointed with the ending. Like, I didn't really like it. I didn't think it was great closure. I just think it just kind of happened.
Yeah. I think, like I said, it's a really excellent compilation of tiny moments that don't work together as a whole.
Yeah. I could see that. The sum of the whole is less than the parts, so that sort of thing. Okay.
Because like a couple of my favorite moments was like it's like he's as a little kid, Lee is forced to sort of hang out with Purdy, even though he clearly does not want to.
Oh yeah, that was an awesome scene.
Yeah, and like Purdy steals his comics and
like blatantly, like, I'm taking this.
Yep, these are mine now.
Yeah. That was so familiar to me, that whole scene.
Yeah. Or the scene where he and his dad are watching the cartoon, and just that sort of, that's a little bit more of the slamming you over the head with the message kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I still thought it was a well put together scene.
Were they watching like a war cartoon?
It was like an old, like Nate Powell recreated like an old cartoon, I think, called what the hell was it?
It wasn't Watership Down or anything.
No, it's not Watership Down. But like apparently it's an actual cartoon from like 1939.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
But it's about mice or squirrels or something.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And they live in like, their huts are like human helmets and
with skulls.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that whole scene when his dad, trying to explain to him that war isn't glamorous or anything like that.
Right.
I thought that was a well put together scene, but
Yeah.
It is one of the more bash you over the head kind of moments.
Right. It seems like he does have like kind of a political leaning in his writing usually.
Right.
I mean, sort of like anti-war, anti-racism, and like, that's awesome. Like, I agree with those things, but I think maybe it is a little heavy-handed sometimes, the execution.
The name of the cartoon was Peace on Earth.
Peace on Earth, okay.
And, I mean, he's, he owns his own record label, and he's in like 17 bands, and, he's self-published himself for years, so he's definitely, got the punk rock,
Right.
Attitude.
The DIY nature.
Right. So, I can see where that all comes in.
Right. It's part of him. I mean, it's who he is. He is. I mean, he's definitely an artist who I will probably buy everything he does from now on, but, it's like 80% the artwork though.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, his artwork is stellar. I mean, it is top notch.
Right.
And, I respect it totally, but yeah, the story could be a little better for my liking.
Right. I think, when we did review Swallow Me Whole, we both said that, even that book, and I know you really like that one. And
I think I like the story in that one better, actually.
Right. But I think we both pretty much came away with it saying that, reading that book felt like we were seeing someone on the cusp.
Right.
And,
I remember saying I think his next book will be the one. And
right.
I'm like, maybe it's the next one, though.
Yeah,
it's the next one. I still feel it. I still feel like he's going to do something that just blows my mind.
Like I said, it's like, he and I have like this place where we need to meet in the middle, and we're just not there yet.
Yeah.
Because I really want to be a fan of this guy.
Yeah.
Because he is super nice when I've met him in person, and he's an amazing artist. And it's just like all the elements are there. They're just not congealed
they're not
yet.
clicked yet. Yeah. I can see that. I want to say something too. Like this book for the most part is not funny.
No.
But there was one part that like I laughed out loud. I was actually sitting in a Denny's eating breakfast when I read like half of this. I read half of it by myself in a Denny's, and there was the part at the beginning where I think it's when Lee's playing with toys, and you just see the toys in action as if it was a cartoon. Like Lee's not there moving them around. It's just like them moving themselves. And there's a scene where like there's a good guy and a good lady, and they're like trying to like break into the evil fortress. And
You mean Scarlet and Snake Eyes?
Scarlet and Snake Eyes.
Yeah,
And Scarlet gets shot in the ass. And Snake Eyes says something about, he's like, we're going to get out of this, and then we're going to get married. And it was just so perfect. Like, I didn't expect that at all. And it was such like a line that a kid would say, and it wasn't like supposed to be funny. It was like the kid, I could just see the kid going, yeah, and then we're going to get married. Yeah. And, it was perfect.
Yeah.
It was such a like little kid moment.
Except for the fact that Snake Eyes doesn't talk.
What? Oh yeah, you're right. But it wasn't actually Snake Eyes.
Yeah, so, any Empire. Pretty to look at. I think that's...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's...
And it's interesting.
It's interesting.
Good characters. And
I don't know. Again, it seems it's more suited as a series of short stories about these characters rather than one big narrative.
But it really did feel like, I don't know if this was intended to be a miniseries, but it really did feel like there was chapters.
Right.
And like they all seemed about like comic length. It wasn't like they were like 50 pages. I mean, they were all like I don't know.
Maybe he did. Yeah. Actually, because I remember seeing preview art for this a year or two back.
Right.
So maybe he did intend it to be that way. And just finally decided to put it all together. Maybe his publisher told him to put it all together. I don't know.
I could have seen this as a Vertigo miniseries, like him trying to pitch that or something. I know he's got his foot in the door at Vertigo. He did something on Sweet Tooth. He did like a few pages.
That's right, yeah.
I'd love to see him do some more of that.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Not my favorite thing he's ever done, but
I can't give it a full recommendation. I can't say that I loved it, but it was good.
And it's beautifully drawn.
It's gorgeous to look at. So check it out. Maybe wait for a paperback. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. They never did a paperback of Swallow Me Whole.
Well, then you're fucked.
Hey, but I mean, at a $20 hardcover, that's got to be like 300 and something pages. I don't know.
Right.
That's reasonably priced.
I don't know. Brian Bendis went on Twitter a couple of weeks ago and said that he was never gonna publish any paperbacks of his own creator-owned stuff again.
Right.
And I don't know. I just find that distasteful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because sometimes you just don't want to pay for a hardcover.
I would think though, if this was a soft cover, it'd still be like $16, $17.
Right. Yeah.
So it's pretty thick.
Do it, pal. Do it, Top Shelf.
Yeah.
The fuck's your problem?
It's got that nice embossed lettering.
That's weird. It's also weird that it's sort of curved in the middle.
Yeah, it looks like it's been sitting in the sun. Did you leave it out in the sun for a few days?
I did.
Yeah.
I also ran it over with my car.
That could have been it.
Yeah.
The running over of the car. Yeah,
it just kind of parked on top of it for a while.
That's what it is. Yeah, there's the tire tracks.
Yeah,
that explains it too.
All right, then, let's take a break.
Okie dokie.
And we'll be back.
Yeah. Hey, welcome back to Gutter Trash. We're here in our chairs.
We're queer in our bears.
What? In our bears?
Yeah.
What's that mean?
Bear.
Like a giant gay man?
Yeah.
Okay. A tough fella who's sweet on the inside. So what's up, buddy?
No, not much.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, we talked about a comic book. Did you read any other comics this week?
I read Ultimate Spider-Man #2.
Oh?
Yeah.
That good?
It was fine.
Miles Mayhem as... what's his name?
Morales.
Miles Morales, yeah. That's the guy from Mask.
Yes, it is.
Okay. That's right, he has a mustache.
Yeah.
Spider-Man has no mustache.
No, because he's only, 12 years old.
Oh.
Can't grow one yet.
Really? He's only 12, really?
Yeah.
12?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
12, 13, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Good book, though?
It's enjoyable so far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, only 2 issues in, and Bendis likes to drag things out. So,
What?
Yeah. But they're enjoyable. You know, he's not suited up yet. He's really only discovered his powers so far.
I haven't heard anything from our customers about that book, probably because they haven't opened the bag that #1 came in yet. But
Well, number 2 is out now. That wasn't in a bag.
but they can't read that until they read number 1. So they'll never read it.
I tore open that fucking bag for number 1 the minute I got home.
With like an X-Acto knife that we could save it.
Nope. Fucking.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I don't even know you anymore, you brute.
I will also say that, god damn it, that was like the toughest bag to try to open.
Really?
Yeah. Like, there was like no real place to like grip it to like pull the bag open.
Right.
Yeah, because my point of attack was basically like a bag of potato chips.
Right, like Doritos or whatnot.
Right. Maybe a Grippo.
Ooh, I love the Grippos.
And,
I just spent $18 on Grippo powder. We went over to Doc's to get a glass of tea, and I spent $30. What the fuck is wrong with me? But anyway, yeah, that bag was...
to clarify, you bought, there's like seasoning powder that they use on Grippo's potato chips.
Yeah, Cincinnati's own Grippos.
Right.
Started as a pretzel company.
Yeah.
Became known for their potato chips, though.
And you are, let's say it's an addiction.
I would say a lifelong fan. That's the nice way to put it.
Of the barbecue flavored Grippos.
Oh my god, yes.
And this is basically what they coat the barbecue chips in.
Their secret recipe.
Right. And you bought 3 $6 bottles of this powder.
I had never seen it before for sale. My cousin, who's from Kentucky, the first time I ever ate Grippos was when I went to visit her in Kentucky. She recently moved back to here from Kentucky, and she had came up with she didn't come up with this. She's not a scientist that developed this mythic powder. She brought this jar of Grippo's powder with her, and I've been using it on, like, I've used it on peanut butter sandwiches. I've used it on stir fry. I've just, like, put it in my hands and ate it by itself. It's so good. And we were at Dots to get a drink, and, like, all of a sudden I saw a little rack of this powder.
There.
I'd safe to say I flipped out.
Yes, you did. And you had been in that aisle.
I don't think they've ever had that before.
Well, no, like 2 minutes before that.
Right.
You were in that aisle buying Grippo's potato chips.
Yeah, right.
And you and I had gotten separated, and he came out looking for me, and then I went down that aisle, and that's when you spotted him.
Oh, I'm so glad you went down that aisle. I feel like a blushing bride. You walking down that aisle changed my life. Oh, I can't wait to get home.
And you froze in place and just nearly had a seizure. And I was looking at the bottle, and it says it's good for steak and burgers, chicken, but
none of which I eat.
No. The only thing listed on there that you do eat is salad.
Yeah, I'll put it on my salad. I'll put it on my frickin' cereal. I couldn't believe my cousin, when she got back, she was like, oh yeah, I bought this powder, and it was like half empty, she'd been eating it.
Right.
She's like, I didn't even think I should have bought you one. And I was just like, yeah, you should have. And I even thought of, like, I should just drive to Kentucky and see if I can find some, but...
And now you have 3 10-ounce bottles of it.
Yeah, that should be good for a while.
Anyway, what were we talking about?
That bag was hard to open.
Oh yeah, the bag was hard to open. But yeah, I had to wind up, digging my fingernails into it and just, ripping it apart and, comic folded and... Yeah.
See, maybe that's their plan. Like, they'll all get damaged and you'll have to buy another one.
Oh, yeah.
And you keep opening them like, oh, this one's fucked up too.
Or I'm just going to keep the one that I had that I opened, because I'm not that guy.
Yeah. And I respect that.
I have not been that guy since 1992.
I totally respect that. Totally respect
that. Yeah, it was fun. I think the only other thing I read was Hawkman, number 1.
Savage Hawkman.
Savage Hawkman.
He paid dearly for that adjective. Don't you short him that adjective. Those adjectives don't come cheap.
That's true. It was okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The art is It's really muddy and brown and really crappy, digitally painted. Yeah.
Who's writing it?
Tony Daniel,
Mm.
who I also do not enjoy.
Right.
Right.
Wow, so he's writing Hawkman, writing detective, and drawing detective.
Yep.
On a monthly basis.
Yep.
That's pretty impressive.
Not really.
No.
No,
It's a lot of stuff to do.
not really.
Don't you
The
think?
drawing part, sure.
Yeah.
But writing, fuck that.
Yeah, I guess writing seems like it would take less time.
Yeah.
But yeah, he puts a lot of detail in his artwork, though. So.
Shitty detail.
Oh. You know, I'm not a super fan, but I think that Detective Number 1 was the best thing I've seen him draw.
It's possibly one of the worst things I've ever seen.
And still the best thing you've seen him draw.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I haven't read any comics at all this week. I've been a bad little nerd.
I couldn't really read anything else because I was reading Any Empire. And, usually, weeks before we do a comic show, that's pretty much all I have time to read.
Right.
So, I would say that maybe I could catch up this next week, but then I'm going to start reading my next pick.
Right.
So that I can give it to you by the time that I pick it.
Hey, that's cool.
Yeah. And then I can use that week to read something else. Probably try to finish Super Gods.
I think, for some reason, I only read like 3 comics now, I believe, maybe 4, with the new DC stuff, but
Yeah.
I think 3 of them all come out the same week, because I was looking at the list, and Sweet Tooth comes out this week, OMAC comes out this week, and I think Kirby Genesis was on the list too.
Yeah.
And I think I only read 4 books, and those are 3 of them. So, like, this is my week to read some comics.
Alright.
Kind of excited.
Good luck to you.
Yeah. I'll probably read a couple after work tomorrow night.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, enjoy them.
Yeah.
Enjoy them.
I wish you luck.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Anything else exciting been going on?
No.
I did a bunch of visiting.
To the plants?
Yeah, I ate some mice, peeled off my lizard skin. Visitor. I'm a visitor. That's what I do. No, I went and visited my brother, who I don't see too often. Went and visited him Thursday night, and we had some dinner, had some pasta, and just sat around and talked about funny books. And
Yeah. Yeah.
it's pretty awesome, actually.
Good times.
It was a good time.
Sounds like good times.
And then yesterday, I went with my lovely lady friend Kathleen Coyle. We went and visited her grandma
Yeah.
and hung out with her for a little bit, just a little bit.
Did you get your ass kicked?
She kicked my ass. Yeah, she's a tough lady. She's about to move to Florida, she says.
Yeah.
And we hung out with her for
Just tired of all the crime.
tired of the crime in Dayton.
Yeah.
And then we went to hang out with her dad, and we had some Mexican food with her dad. And
Yeah.
just chilled and watched. I watched about 240 laps of NASCAR.
Why?
He's a big NASCAR fan, and I have never, ever watched more than 4 seconds in one day of NASCAR.
Why would you ever need?
It was kind of, way more, like it kind of drew me in and relaxed me. It was bizarre. It was like, it was almost as relaxing as watching golf. Because, I mean, they're just gonna keep going in circles. And, it's not like anything crazy is gonna happen other than, occasionally, I think there was like a couple of wrecks, but nobody got hurt or anything.
Right.
But it was surprisingly, like, just like mesmerizing somehow. Like, I don't think I would ever watch another NASCAR race of my own accord. But, if we're over at her dad's house again, he's watching it, it's not something I'm gonna, not look forward to. It's kind of weird. Who would have thought white trash turning left would be so excited?
I still don't think it's exciting.
Oh no, it's not exciting, but it was engaging somehow.
Something wrong with you? Were you drunk?
I was not drunk.
Were you overdosed on Grippo powder?
Oh, man. No, but I will be this time tomorrow.
Alright.
Yeah, it was kind of fun, though. I mean, they do 400 laps. Can you believe that?
Yeah, some of them do 500.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that what they call the Indy 500? Until this moment, I didn't know what that meant. I swear to God. But yeah.
Or sometimes it's miles or kilometers. Yeah.
Well, this one I think was a mile track. I think it was exactly a mile, so it was 400 miles. But yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. They do. I was like, oh my God, like when he turned it on, it was like, I don't know, 100 and something laps in, and I was like, oh, this is gonna take forever. Yeah. But like they do a lap like every, I don't know, 40 seconds or something. It's pretty crazy.
It and soccer, two of the worst things that I've ever had to sit through when I worked at the TV station.
Right.
Yeah. Actually, soccer wasn't entirely too bad because, like, each half, quarter, whatever. Period.
I don't know. I'll say half. I think it's a half.
Goes 45 minutes. And during that entire time, no commercial breaks.
Really?
Yeah. Like ABC would pop up like in a little picture window box with like a commercial, and like the sound would take over, but like still most of the screen would still be the soccer match. And then like in between each period or whatever, then we'd have to run our local commercials. But, for 45 minutes straight, nothing.
Were there was no breaks, like no timeouts? They were just playing?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was like that too. There was like some scenes like that where there was just a little square in the corner that showed the lap countdown and the cars.
Yeah, they would, two of the worst things I've ever had to do when I worked at the station. Just sit there and watch it.
I'm sorry.
It's alright. Like I could get into football when that was on. I'm not a sports guy.
Yeah.
But, I could get into the football when it was on. I could get into baseball, in fact, actually, I really look forward to football games when I worked there.
Really?
Yeah.
Football is my least favorite sport I've ever watched.
Yeah, mine too. But,
I'd rather watch shuffleboard than football.
Yeah, but it was a treat when I was working there.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
He did Kathleen's pappy. He would switch back when the race was. I started to say when the race was born.
Right.
Periodically he would switch over to the Browns game and watch them lose for a while, and then he would switch back to the.
Sounds like my dad on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Switching back and forth between football games and golf if it's on.
With all seriousness, I think her dad is fucking awesome because that is his life. Like at least on the weekends, he just chills in that chair, watches his football, watches his NASCAR, plays with his kitty cat. He just lives there, just him and the kitty cat. He's pretty awesome.
I don't know.
Yeah, good guy. Good guy.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
We're not having him on the show.
Oh, because my next pick was his favorite movie ever. Oh, The Secret of Nim.
Of course it would.
No, I bet if I had to guess, I'd guess his favorite movie. I don't know. I would guess it would be like a John Wayne movie, that sort of thing. Something with a little, a little grit to it.
Right. True.
Oh, wow. That is bizarre. I swear, subconsciously, I must have said grit because.
Right.
But yeah, a little tooth, yeah. Yeah. Should I pick a movie?
Yeah.
Okay. Secret of Nim, and we're having Glenn Coyle, special guest.
Veto!
Okay. Well then, since he vetoed, we talked about this movie the other day, and I don't think I ever would just watch it on my own accord, but let's try it out. Let's watch Cold Souls.
All right, then.
Paul Giamatti.
Veto, but you can pick another Paul Giamatti movie.
Really?
Planet of the Apes, there we go.
Okay, sweet.
He played in the orangutan.
He did.
Yeah.
The used car salesman-ish orangutan.
Yeah. I've been wanting to see Cold Souls for quite a while now. So
Awesome.
Let us do that up.
That would be awesome.
All right, then. I gotta watch one of those shitty movies I heard from Netflix so I can return it and get that one.
That's what Netflix is for.
Yep.
So you can watch shitty movies.
Yep. I'm really not looking forward to any of those movies.
Which ones do you have?
I got a British movie called In the Company of Wolves, which is like a weird sort of modern-day version of Little Red Riding Hood,
Oh.
but with werewolves.
That sounds terrible.
And Angela Lansbury,
Oh, okay, I'm in now.
and the guy who directed The Crying Game.
Oh, wow.
It's from like 1984.
Golly.
Yeah.
Star-studded.
And the bad guy from Tron. Let's see. What else did I get? One that I'm actually looking forward to. I'm just not in the mood to watch it at any point soon. Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer.
Wow. Have you never seen that?
Nope.
Wow.
And then another horror movie called Deadly End, which I think I heard Crank recommended on the Crankcast like 3 years ago. And it's been on my Netflix queue since. Then finally just creeped up to it.
See, like you just brought up a good point. I think this is honestly why I always have trouble picking movies. I really do. I could never decide on something because when I'm about to pick a comic, it's because usually it's either because I've just read it or because I'm excited to read it and like it's like as soon as I pick it I'm going to go home and start it. Movies though, I usually am always like movies are something that I like to be in the mood for that type of film when I watch it.
Right.
And like we always pick them, a week ahead of time.
Right.
And it's always like, what am I going to be in the mood for a horror movie next Sunday? Or like I think maybe that's why I always have trouble deciding on a movie because I like to have like 5 movies in my hand and be like, okay, I'm sitting down right now. Which one am I going to watch?
Right. I have an easier time picking movies because I do generally tend to want to watch a lot of movies. It seems as at least for the past year, that since I've been doing the Sketch a Day blog, that doing the show is the only time that I actually get to sit down and hopefully enjoy a movie.
To pay full attention.
Right, because if I'm just sitting around watching a movie, I'm usually drawing at the same time.
Right.
To try to make up time. So, on my own, I haven't fully immersed myself in a movie. But, when we do one for the show, or when my friend Amanda comes over or whatever, then that's when I actually get a chance to watch a movie.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm pretty much always in the mood for any movie at that point.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I think you're more of a movie fan than I am.
Yeah. But when I'm on my own, it's just like, I want something that I can only partially pay attention to.
Right.
But then with something like Henry is something that I want to watch.
Yeah.
And not just sort of glance up at it occasionally.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at the same time, if I'm drawing at the same time, I want to have something that's going to keep me energized and motivated.
Right.
And so I don't want to watch a shitty, boring movie.
Right. So it seems like a kind of a tightrope there.
Yeah.
Sweet though. Yeah.
So yeah, Cold Souls. I'm looking forward to that.
Awesome.
All right then. Well, let's get the fuck out of Dodge here.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe we'll go outside and throw some quarters into some saxophone player's hat.
By quarters, you mean foot up asses?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, could be. I'm just expecting my car to be like keyed up and.
Yeah, you're never gonna notice.
Yeah.
Car's all fucked up.
I wouldn't. Like someone keying my car would be about as detrimental to me as someone licking my elbow. I'd be like, oh, that's annoying. Oh, whatever. And I would just, after 4 seconds, I'd forget that it ever happened.
Right.
So I couldn't care less. So keep my car if you see me sometime
right.
at a comic convention.
Yeah. I know my friend rammed her door into my car the other day.
On purpose?
No.
Okay.
We were parked next to each other, and she was getting into her car to grab some stuff or put some stuff away. I don't know. But she opened the door, and it was kind of windy, and so, like, the momentum and everything just sort of,
right,
cracked, like, the edge of her door right up against my door. And there's no serious damage or anything like that, and she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm like, whatever.
Right. Yeah. It's a car.
Yeah.
Like, people freak out about cars and, like, keep them immaculately clean, and, like, to me, it's like, it's a mode of transportation. Like,
right.
You obviously don't want to leave, like, vomit in there or something,
right.
but yeah, I mean, whatever.
Yeah, I just want to take care of it enough, though, that it still runs.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. That's all that matters.
Alright.
This has been Car Talk.
This has been Car Talk.
With the Tapper Brothers.
I'm clicking your clack.
Oh, I wanted to be Click.
Alright, you can be Click.
Yeah! I don't know which is which.
Alright, let's laugh annoyingly.
Yeah.
Okay, let's pre-record that and put it on a loop.
Yeah.
And we're done. Goodbye. You can subscribe to Gutter Trash at iTunes or directly at guttertrash.net. If you go to iTunes, please leave us a review. You can email us at eric@guttertrash.net or jason@guttertrash.net. For more info, you can find us on Facebook, or you can go to seanborn.net or buyerbeware.guttertrash.net. Listen to our sister podcast, League Night, at league.guttertrash.net. Thank you for listening. Until next time.